The method of calculating zakat. Now zakat is farz upon a person who has nisab for 1 year. Remember, 1 Islamic lunar year. Now nisab is a specific amount of wealth which the Sharia has fixed. Now when a person has this amount or more for 1 lunar Islamic year, then zakat becomes farz upon him. Now in Sharia, nisab is calculated in gold and silver. Now if a person has 612 grams of silver or 87 grams of gold, and he has this amount or more for 1 whole year, then zakat becomes farz upon him. Now, according to today's rate, 612 grams of silver is equal to 238 pound. 87 grams of gold is 3,863 pound. That is the rate today. So the rate for silver as of today is 238 pound. And for gold, 87 grams of gold is 3,863 pound. Now, when does zakat become farz upon a person? If a person only has gold, then his zakat will be according to the nisab of gold, which is 87 grams worth of gold. So once a person becomes the owner of 87 grams of gold, then his zakat year will start. Then if a whole year passes, and at the end of his zakat year, meaning at the end of 1 Islamic lunar year, if he still has that amount of gold or more, then he will give 2.5% of it. On the other hand, if a person has a mixture of items which zakat is farz upon. Now for example, a person has some gold, a person has some silver, a person has has cash savings. Now because it's a mixture of wealth, then the nisab of silver will be taken into consideration. Now again, the nisab for silver is 612 grams of silver, which as of today the rate is 238 pound. Now for example, a person has cash, a person becomes the owner of 238 pound, which is the equivalent of 612 grams of silver. His zakat year will start. Now for example, I become the owner of 238 pound. Now I make a note on the calendar that my zakat year has started. Now I wait a whole year. If at the end of the Islamic year, now for example on the 1st of Ramadan, I became the owner of 238 pound, which is the rate of 612 grams of silver, which is used in nisab for calculating nisab. Now I become the owner of 612 grams of silver in cash. So I get paid, for example, from work 250 pound, or someone gives me 250 pound. Now which is more than the nisab of 612 grams of silver. I'll make a note on the calendar that my zakat year has started. Yeah? So this is on the 1st of Ramadan. Then let 1 whole year pass by. Then on the 30th or the 29th of Sha'ban, depending on what day, on the date before the 1st of Ramadan, your Islamic year will end. Then you'll calculate your zakat. Whatever amount of zakat you've got, if it's more than the nisab of silver, so you find out the rate of 612 grams of silver on that date. If your wealth equals to the amount of nisab or more, then you will give 2.5% of your wealth in zakat. So again, just a quick recap. Now this, in Sharia, zakat, someone's nisab is calculated in gold and silver. If a person has, for gold, it is 87 grams of gold, which as of today is 3,863 pound. And silver is 612 grams, which as of today is 238 pound. If you've only got gold, then you'll do your working out according to the nisab of gold only. If you've got a mixture, meaning you've got gold, silver, you've got cash, etc., then you will use the nisab of silver. Inshallah, in tomorrow's lesson, we'll go through some examples of how to work out your zakat.